From Tampa Bay's 10, this is the Channel 10 News at 10. All right, Victoria, thank you so much. And to everyone who are waking up for Mornings with Marcel and Friends, you made it on this Tuesday morning, July the 18th. I am your humble host. And as you might see, could be a very amazing show. It's going to be a not just for the different side of the what's going on in a 60-minute or 1 minute accent, but it's going to be a very 30-minute accent. So every Tuesday between the hours of 9 and 9:30, I give you all the news, all the first of the day. Tell me what you are watching from, as well as you ready for this? 5 things is coming your way in just a few minutes. Also, the verse of the day and today's word of the day, and even your thoughts of the day. I promise you, it's going to be a very amazing morning. So feel free to connect with my socials, including right here on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and of course, Insta. Yeah, all my socials. For those of you who are able to come on by, there's a live chat is available on my page. Please feel free to respect this chat on my channel. I promise. Now, on this Tuesday morning, let's start things off with the 5 things you are definitely need to know with getting you up to speed, and your deed it is, taking on your day. Starting with heat wave and extreme heat. You know why? Because blistering high temps are being reported across the world, breaking records on multiple continents. While here in the U.S., swaths of the country will be ruggedly in the triple digits this week. Record-breaking heat is likely the 4 corner states, from Texas to the lower Mississippi Valley, and from South Florida too, from the weather prediction. Alerts for a dangerous heat wave also being posted in parts of Arizona, including metropolitan Phoenix. That's right, metropolitan Phoenix, which tied the record streak yesterday with 18 consecutive days over 110. Now, it will be the 19th day. Similarly, hot air over southern Europe has turned Italy into a giant pizza oven. A climate expert said, while a total of 20 Italian cities, which includes Rome, will be on a red alert list today, where people will face a high, very high health risk due to the intense heat wave from the country's health military, or should I say, the country's health ministry. Next up on the list, Russian forces launched airstrikes on Ukraine's southern port city of Odessa today in retaliation to Kyiv's attack on the Crimea Bridge earlier this week. The strikes today come after Russian President Putin promised payback for Ukraine's attack on yesterday that damaged the bridge. The $3.7 billion bridge is tragically important because it links Russia's effort in the country. Damaging the critical pipeline would block the flow of goods and people into the Ukrainian territories that Moscow has occupied, from the analysts. Now, yesterday's attack on the crossing was the second since Putin launched his full-scale invasion of Ukraine, and Kyiv has retaliated that hopes to reclaim the peninsula in its ongoing counteroffensive. Amid soaring temps, some Texas troopers at the Mexico-U.S. border, shall I say, were told to push migrants back into the Rio Grande River and were ordered not to give them water, according to a new report. Emails shared with other news organizations themselves detailed the account of the trooper meted at the border who called out the inhumane, sick treatment against migrants. The trooper said they were given orders to push the people back into the water to go to Mexico, and were also ordered not to give them water, even though it appeared many were suffered heat exhaustion. That's right, heat exhaustion. Oh my, heat exhaustion, my friends. Sorry about the mute. The trooper also called for changes to the latest Operation Lone Star policies brought in by Texas Governor Greg Abbott, GOP, which deployed thousands of personnel to the border. In response, he released a statement that read in part, President Biden has unleashed a chaos on the border that's unsustainable and we have a constitutional duty to respond to this unprecedented crisis. Now to the writer's strike. Actors and writers remain on the picket lines this week after SAG-AFTRA, a union representing about 160,000 Hollywood actors, officially went on strike from Friday. There is still no agreement in sight after union members failed to reach a deal with Hollywood's biggest studios last week. It marks the first time in more than 6 decades that Hollywood actors and writers are on strike simultaneously, bringing most films and TV productions to a halt. Among other demands, actors on strike are calling for increased pay and a rethinking of residentials. This type of compensation is paid out to actors whenever TV shows or movies they appeared in are replayed. But in streaming services isn't always clear how often content is replayed, leaving actors making significantly less than they would have on network TV. And lastly, the FDA Monday, that will be yesterday, approved an antibody to protect infants from RSV, a long-attacking virus that is the leading cause of hospitalization in infants under the year old here in our country. The antibody, which will be sold under the brand name Fortress, is not a vaccine. The vaccines prompted the body to make antibodies to defend against pathogens. Instead, the single injection is a ready-made antibody that can be blend, to the virus and block it from infecting healthy cells. In the clinical trials that led to its approval, the therapy was about 70% effective at cutting the risk that a baby wound need a doctor's visit for RSV, and was, hey, it's working. And it was about 78% effective at preventing hospitalizations due to RSV compared with a placebo, according to FDA analysts. Now to breakfast bowls for you this Tuesday morning. Giant identified object washes up on Australian beach. On Friday, Lionel Messi will make his debut here in our country. These people were on board Virgin's Galactic first base tourism flight. Lindsay Lohan welcomes baby boy, and the world's new largest office building is bigger than the Pentagon. Now, with the quote coming your way in just a bit, but 50%, that's today's number, and how much Twitter's ad revenue has dropped by in recent weeks as concerns mount over Musk's chaotic control of the social media platform. Some investors and lawmakers have grown increasingly worried that the disorder has spilled over to Musk, manager of Tesla, or management, one of the most influential electric car companies in our country. And this week, Democratic Senator Elizabeth Warren asked the SEC to investigate Tesla and its board of directors for possible conflicts of interest, misappropriation of corporate assets, and other negative impacts to Tesla's shareholders. Now, Ruth Richardson, president and CEO of Planned Parenthood North Central States, committing after a judge on Iowa yesterday temporarily blocked the state's 6-week abortion ban. And for now, abortions in Iowa will remain legal up to 22 weeks into a pregnancy. The temporary injunction is the latest roadblock in Republican efforts to enact restrictions on abortion in the state. We are proud to continue providing the care our patients need and definitely deserve. That's your Tuesday's 5 things. Back Tuesday. That will be next Tuesday for more. But in the meantime, it is 12 past the hour, which means it's time for your verse of the day. Amen indeed. Thank you, Phil. And I'm so sorry about my tablets is up by volume, ladies and gentlemen, but I really know what's been going on ever since. I will put you in the link, as always, for today's verse of the day. You could go to their website, verseoftheday.com. Remember, Ephesians 4:15, speaking the truth in love, we will in all things grow up into him or her who is the head, that is the name Christ. Now, as you might know, the futures are remain in the red column. The opening bell is set to take place in, 16 minutes time. 16 minutes time before the opening bell. I will have to say, for today's look of what's been going on Wall Street from yesterday, things are very deeply quiet as the Dow looks to a winning streak. It will take place on the 7th. But after its highest close of the year. And you know why? The futures barely bungled this morning as the Dow Jones Industrial Average comes off a 6-day winning streak. But looking for the 7th is set to take place. This is from CNBC, and major indexes ticked higher in a previous section as the Dow hit its highest close this year. Earnings from Bank of America and Morgan Stanley will help to drive the trading day. And investors will also eye data points, including June retail sales and the July Home Builder Confidence Index. So let's see what the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P futures are set to taking place from yesterday as the Dow, once again, the celebrate of its own, the 6th week of themselves. Oh, yeah. Dow up 76. That will be at 34,585. NASDAQ up 131 or nearly 1. The S&P 500 is rose at 17. And let's see what the futures are set to take place before the opening bell. We remain in the red column for the 3 futures indexes. The opening bell is set to take place in 14 minutes time. Next on the list, Bank of America top earnings and revenue estimates spurred by higher interest income driven by rate hikes. Shares edge slightly higher in pre-market trading today. But Morgan Stanley is also set to post quarterly results. And major banks kick off the heart of earnings season this Friday. And JP Morgan Chase beat estimates as revenues by 34% due in part to higher interest rates. Citigroup also topped expectations, but revenues slide 1%. The likelihood of the U.S. recession in the near future appears to be fallen, according to Goldman Sachs. The investment bank cut the probability of economic contraction in the next 12 months to 20% from 25%. Goldman's chief economist Jane Hesser cited economic data like first quarter GDP growth and slowly inflation in increasing the projected chances that the Fed Reserve could rein in dramatic price increases without causing a recession in the next year. She said in a research report, but the easing in financial conditions, the rebound in the housing market, and the ongoing boom in factory building all suggest that the American economy will continue to grow, albeit at a below trade pace, end quote. All right, you can read this as always. You can read all of this via the website or the free CNBC app. We'd like to send the shouts to CNBC for making that article available. If not, I will put you guys, as always, with the 5 things before trading day. Hold on a second, please. And boom, there we go. All right. Before we get to today's word of the day, do I mention it? How long what this mouse feels? So here is the story on that. When I was taking a shower this morning, and my laptop is keeping in pace before not to get technology all over the place to boom it up or turn things down. Oh, no, no, no. That's a lie. My mouse is trying to keep it safe, not without all those dinging about what's being not to, or even what's being going on with this pad, or should I say the mouse pad, that is. My brother told me not to go away for this distance, even though not to be ashamed about. Yo, Spanky! My brother, ladies and gentlemen, I know it's going to be a little bit heat wave enough, but air conditioning, water, hydrant, all things cool, as a matter of fact. But I promise it will be a more coming up. For those of you living in the Southwest, that includes Arizona, Nevada, surrounding communities, anything from on everyone in the country's list. I know it's going to be a little bit tough, but it seems it's going to be a triple digits power outages all over the place. Let me say to this, I know it's going to be a shame of the climate change because of the temps, and things might be, oh, no, that's a totally influent lie. My mouse is finally back worked, so I brought you, as always, to share this.
Thanks very much.
And by the way, my brother's here to tell you about the heat wave. It's going to be blasting from not just here in the Northeast, but the Northeast, as a matter of fact. You know why? Because of this? Oh, it could be a very shame of themselves. Because of this, I'm going to move the tablet out of the way. Spanky, you can come sit with me. I know it's going to be enough space. My brother Spanky, ladies and gentlemen, he'll tell you about what's been going on for the climate change, for the heat wave and the floods, all from most parts of the world. And since the news has been broke in the past difficult hours, we do understand why is the heat wave affecting. Come on, no. Why is everyone heat wave and the floods and rain all over most parts of the world is going to be very, 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 very shame, very badly enough.
Well, I can tell you right now, I am not a summer person. I'm not.
Me neither. We're not a summer person.
80, 90 degree weather, it's not meant for us.
Right.
I would much rather take fall and spring. I mean, winter is all right. Winter is so at best. I mean, I don't want to be snowed in or anything like that. I would much rather take fall and spring weather rather than this.
Yeah, but let me tell you this, brother. We're in the 70s right now, but as a matter of fact, the scattered showers is going to be taking place later on, as a matter of fact, too.
I'll have to check the weather.
And it's also the scattered showers, the rain, and the thunderstorms is going to be set for later on for the rest of the day. But I hope everyone here in the Northeast is staying safe because of that. The floods in Vermont, as a matter of fact. Tell us about the latest on the floods in Vermont.
Nothing. Nothing. I haven't checked on this yet, but I hope all who are in Vermont right now are staying safe and obviously staying out of what I am now learning is some very bad flooding over there. So I'll have to go back and read some more about this.
And also about the latest on the heat wave, but not just here in the US. We'll get to that. But your thoughts on the latest on the heat wave in most parts of the West. That includes in Arizona, California, etc.
2 simple words for all of you out there. Stay home. Stay out of the heat. You got an AC like this, make sure you crank it all the way up. Stay out of that hot weather over there.
And it's also they're going to be drink lots of fluids. The power outages as well. Your thoughts about that in the most parts of it? But I think it's going to be the
power outages where?
In the most parts of the West.
Where exactly?
In California. Which includes Fresno, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and many parts of the region as well, Spank.
I haven't read on that yet either, but I'll have to find out where exactly in California. You say Los Angeles?
Fresno.
Oh, I'll have to read some more. I'll have to check on it some more.
And not just for the latest on the heat wave from the most parts of the world, most parts here in the US, but how about in most parts of Europe? Your thoughts on that?
I'll have to read on that as well. I'll have to see what the temperatures are like in Europe, because I understand their temperature system is in Celsius. We have Fahrenheit here, so I'll have to check the international weather forecast and see what the weather is over there, because I understand there's a 6-hour time difference between us here and parts of Europe and London and areas of that magnitude.
Which is also in Paris, Madrid, and most parts of it as well too. But that's going to be it for us, or not to. But one last thing. If I could sign things up for you and heading for the breakfast and lunch right downstairs, not far from here. The thoughts on that?
Well, nothing as of yet. But I will be sitting in I will be talking to
Donald?
This afternoon, yes. I will be speaking to him.
It's going to be a pancakes, the pizza I just ate from last night. You're having mac and cheese with steak from yesterday. You gave it to me as a shared as well.
Right.
And I had to tell you what, sharing is caring.
That's true.
And what is today's the verse of the day that the people could be remembered? We don't have much time.
Well, Romans 8:28.
Romans 8:28. What is it?
It's in the good book. So it's in the good book.
Oh, yes. Amen. And Psalms 118 verse 24 says, "This is the day that the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it." I tell you what, Jesus is alive for all of us. Ladies and gentlemen, my brother Spanky, everyone, I want to thank him for coming out, as always, to share the thoughts on the heat wave, etc., and all kinds of genres for you, as always. If you respect this brother, please give it a respect. Now, with 2 minutes in favor of wrapping up Mornings with Marcel and Friends, you saw my man Larry's 7 a.m. East 4 in the West, Victoria's 8 in the East 5 in the West, mine's 9 in the East 6 in the West. That will be on Tuesday. And of course, the rest of you, every weekday, feel free to join them on YouTube. I promise it could be a great new day. All right. The word of the day for this Tuesday, and today's word from Merriam-Webster-Webster.com. I will put that for you guys to wrap up the show. Today's word of the day is glum. And you know why? It's to take or get something glum is most often used in the phrase glom onto to refer to taking something for your own use, becoming strongly attached to or associated with someone or something, or becoming aware of something. So once again, today's word is glum. Glum. Glom. And now, to wrap up the show, as always, what are your thoughts on the day? What are your Tuesday's thoughts? Everything, not just mine, but you. Tuesday's thoughts is available on my socials. All right, it is now, which is 9:29, and straight goes forward to boop, 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 boop. Waiting for 9:30, oh, right on time. It is. Moment, please. There we go. All right, that will be it for Tuesday's installment of Mornings with Marcel and Friends. Be sure to listen to my podcast, The Morning News Headlines. It's available 5 days a week, and of course on Facebook Live Fire Fridays, where I give you 15 minutes. I'll give you the world to start your day. I'll see you in your ears tomorrow and right back in your eyes next Tuesday morning after Larry's and Victorious. Until then, I'm Marcel Marek, signing off, and have a great day.